Have you ever found yourself trapped in a labyrinth of thoughts, unable to find your way out? Maybe it's those late-night reflections on past talks or indecision's grip could be the cause. A quiet moment late at night, the room is dark except for the glow of a clock marking the passing time. A voice asks, when does thoughtful reflection cross the line into the realm of overthinking? Overthinking is a common affliction, but fear not, for there are practical strategies you can employ to break free from its grip and reclaim control of your mind. Imagine a scenario where you have an important presentation at work looming on the horizon. As the deadline draws nearer, your mind becomes a battleground of doubts and fears. Cut to a person staring at a blank presentation slide on a computer, frozen by the weight of expectation. The question is posed, what power do we give to the opinions of others, and at what cost to our own peace of mind? What if you mess up? What if your colleagues judge you? These thoughts consume your every waking moment, leaving you feeling drained and anxious. This is the insidious nature of overthinking, a relentless cycle that thrives on uncertainty and self-doubt. You're lying in bed at night, unable to sleep because your mind is racing with worries about tomorrow's job interview. You toss and turn, rehearsing your answers and imagining all the ways things could go wrong. Before you know it, the sun is rising, and you're more exhausted than when you went to bed. You get out of bed feeling defeated by insomnia. You decide to take a warm shower, hoping it will relax your muscles and ease your mind. How often do you find yourself lost in thoughts about the past or future, and what impact does this have on your well-being? Zooming out to a scene of a busy street, then back to the individual, underscoring their isolation in a crowd, the voiceover asks, in the vast tapestry of life, how do we find balance between caring for the future and living in the present? What triggers tend to lead you into a spiral of overthinking, and how do you typically respond to them? The first step in overcoming overthinking is to question the stories we tell ourselves. Are our fears based on reality, or are they simply figments of our imagination? By challenging the validity of our thoughts, we can begin to untangle the web of overthinking and see things more clearly. You've been invited to a social gathering, but as the date approaches, you find yourself consumed by worries about what people will think of you. Will they like you? Will you fit in? Instead of succumbing to these fears, try reframing the narrative. Remind yourself that everyone feels nervous in new social situations, and that you have just as much right to be there as anyone else. Look around and see others chatting. Some are laughing lightly, a few stand alone. You're not the only one trying to find your footing in this new environment. How do your thoughts influence your emotions and behaviors, and are there any patterns you've noticed? Mindfulness is a powerful antidote to overthinking. By bringing our attention to the present moment, we can break free from the grip of past regrets and future anxieties. You're out for a walk in nature, surrounded by the sights and sounds of the forest. Instead of getting lost in your thoughts, you focus on the sensation of the breeze against your skin and the sound of birdsong in the air. In that moment, you feel a sense of peace and clarity wash over you, as if the weight of the world has been lifted from your shoulders. How might practicing mindfulness improve your ability to cope with overthinking, and what steps can you take to integrate this practice into your daily life? Self-compassion is essential for overcoming overthinking. Instead of berating ourselves for our perceived shortcomings, we must learn to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. You've made a mistake at work, and instead of beating yourself up about it, you remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes from time to time. You acknowledge your feelings of disappointment and frustration, but you also recognize that you're only human and that it's okay to fall short sometimes. What strategies have you found helpful in managing overthinking in the past, and how might you incorporate them into your daily life? How do you think practicing self-compassion could improve your ability to cope with overthinking? Ultimately, overcoming overthinking requires taking proactive steps to challenge our thoughts and cultivate a more balanced perspective on life. By practicing mindfulness, questioning our narratives, and treating ourselves with kindness, we can break free from the grip of overthinking and live more fully in the present moment. You've been putting off a decision for weeks because you're afraid of making the wrong choice. Instead of letting fear hold you back, you take a deep breath and remind yourself that no decision is irreversible. You weigh the pros and cons, trust your instincts, and take the leap. And you know what? Everything turns out just fine. In conclusion, overthinking may be a formidable foe, but it's not one that we're powerless to defeat. By understanding the roots of overthinking and taking proactive steps to challenge our thoughts, we can break free from its grip and live more fully in the present moment. So if you find yourself trapped in the endless cycle of overthinking, remember that you have the power to change your thoughts and rewrite your story. Act now and start your journey towards a brighter, more fulfilling future. So if you find yourself trapped in the endless cycle of overthinking, remember that you have the power to change your thoughts and rewrite your story. With each mindful step, reaffirm your commitment to growth. Visualize yourself moving forward step by step into a space of clarity and renewed purpose.